And welcome back on in. We had a little bit of a break, a little bit of a technical pause, but we are finally arriving with you. Astralis versus Saw. No breaks in the action because it's going to be Mutiris to instantly kick things off in the pistol. Just though has 3 players lying around that corner. He'll open up onto the first, but can't find the kill, and is going to have to back away. No time for introductions here, Ted. Or no. Maybe there is.
Well, my name's Ted, joined by Fi. I think that was enough.
That's me.
Yeah. That's map number 2 of the day. Group B over at the Elisa Masters Espoo for all of you fellas at home. 6 teams in the group. 3 of them are going to be making their way into the playoffs that will be taking place in the Espoo arena from tomorrow and throughout the weekend. This round, though, is already kicking, and BlameF does manage to find the refrag onto Story. Astralis is going to group up and fall back towards that short area, and there's 2 CTs residing towards that A-bomb site.
Ooh, Zipex with a great kill, a great lurk out long, and now Mutiris has a lot to deal with. Not just Zipex, but Christo as well. Finds the gush, the body shot, and that will be Astralis taking the site 2v4 as it stands, and just is going to drop. That leaves Roman 1v4, and I mean, you could try to save your armor, but you're also getting flanked by BlameF, who will close it down with the headshot, and that'll be Astralis picking up the pistol, the debut, and BlameF have some words to say.
Yeah. 2 kills for the mana, the pistol round, Zipex, Mister, and Christo, all of them picking up 1 apiece as well. Forcebuy coming in from Sol, but it was a good recovery from Astralis into a pistol round that they started in a 4 versus 5, right? Glaive just gets insta-headshotted, executed with 1 bullet, but still, you keep your calm, go out of middle with the flash, collect 1 kill, and then fall back and initially go for the play that you wanted to from the get-go.
Gonna be fast out long here for Mister. Just cop an HE grenade, but that's all. Saw just falling back, giving him the space. Already starting this one off with the bang. You see BlameF just giving a couple words across the studio.
I mean, he is a hyped up guy. He is the hype man.
Definitely the energy of this team. For sure, considering all the players that have gone back and forth.
Yeah, that's a working out gamer, you know. His reaction to hitting, let's say, 300 kilos on a deadlift is the same as getting a 3K in the server. Just goes crazy. Not sure if he's actually hit 300 on a deadlift.
It's quite. I mean, certainly it might exist on the webs. Okay, was that just a straight eagle headshot through smoke? I guess it was. Now the flash through, but no kill. Christo does survive that engagement, but Mutiris just found a scout headshot onto Zipex walking out long, and this gets weird. Just could not convert the kill though. Is there a smoke to stop them? There is. The spam close, but there is no cigar on that one. Astralis have just made their way in through the tunnels and will avert this mid threat. They'll cross on out, and we're going to have a B-site post plan if all things go according to plan.
Yeah, that was a really good call from Astralis, though, right? I mean, they know that Soul need to respect that smoke towards CT spawn, so they can just let it be. They can just rotate everybody back towards the tunnels and play the 3 versus 3. And we know how tough it is to retake towards the B-bomb side. Notoriously, and without a defuse kit, this should be just the save from Soul.
Yeah, next round, they'll keep what they have. They'll be surrounded by USPs in the next one. Might as well go for a couple of exits. It won't hurt.
Yeah. Try and hurt the economy of Astralis. That's going to be good. But hey,
overall, though,
that was a great round.
Yeah. I mean, is Zipex walking out long a bit? Oh, whoa, hold on. Every single bit of damage does matter here. But yeah, Zipex walking out long. They get caught off guard. Already kind of finding out the tendencies here of Astralis earlier on in the game. If Zipex is going to continually be a threat towards those long doors, could provide some problems. But the early start is good for Astralis, considering the debut. There's a lot of eyes on this game to see how they do perform with such a shifting and changing lineup.
Yeah, even though they have 2 youngsters on the lineup, you still kind of expect them to make it up to the big games, right? It is the name of Astralis, like the team, the organization. You're used to seeing them at least compete for the trophies, especially in tournaments like that. And, you know, getting a Katowice spot, that's going to be quite decent. Well, it's just the play-ins, but it's still Katowice.
At the end of the day, and being able to do it with a lineup like this would mean all the more. Trying to prove that this project is worth talking about. Just now, in towards the B site. Oh, and he gets ran down. Roman could not provide cover. Mr. and Glaive just open up the B site, and there's no contest here from Saw. We're packing our bags again.
Yeah, round over. It's just a complete shutdown. And I love that, by the way. They know that there's a lot of guns saved up from the Soul side, so you could probably guess that they will go for another reinvestment, right? They know that the money on Astralis wasn't great as well. There was a couple players falling down in the previous round, so you got to run it back. And if you're Astralis, an explosive round like that, it's a big risk, right? If you get shut down, your money is going to be in a bit of a starting point. Well, you have only Xyp9x, Mr. and Glaive that are going to have somewhat of a buy in the next one. BlameF and Crystal are going to be scrapping for cash. But if it works out, and it does work out, well, so are going to be in a really tough spot right now. They just got to save once again. They just can't go for retakes like that.
All right, that's a very swift round there from Astralis. But again, gun saved. Still here for Saw. You could consider reinvesting. There are, I mean, there's
I think
money to drop over
at this point.
Yeah, I think it's time to. You're probably right on that one there, Ted. Is just to call it a day and just keep the guns that you got. AWP for Story probably wants to be on the horizon. Getting that CT side op is a priority for the Portuguese.
Yeah, especially in a map like DUST2, you know, the Oper's Paradise alongside Overpass, I like to call it. Gives you a lot of space, a lot of options. Unless you get completely isolated, you're probably going to have an impactful game with the big green here. And this is still a round in which they can do some damage. I mean, you still have the 3 rifles. Utility is actually all right. You have a diffuse kit on U-Jerk, so you can potentially go for a retake if it gets to it. And just Roman have the armor to back up that 5-7 and the Digo. It doesn't actually look that bleak for the CT side. They can be dangerous. And we can see Astralis playing it a little bit slowly, not exactly sure on what to expect on the other side. They haven't really gotten the confirmation on what kind of an investment so we're going for. Oh, Roman, you've been seen.
Oh, that's a pretty big deal. Angle is being held here by BlameF. If they try to push the issue, Blame could find the instant headshot. He will. Spots the other. That is the Galileo Story. Will push aggressively, and BlameF will dispatch both of them. 3 versus 5, and they'll walk out middle. Mutiris is here, but not anymore. Glaive just wins the outright gunfight with the FAMAS, no less. And that puts just 5-7 in position. Has to hold things down. Opens up with the first headshot on the Mister. Astralis are starting to second guess this. They're going to go back to U-Jerk. Headshot angle being played. Finds an instant double kill. And that's the bomb down on the catwalk. Now the rotate is being cut off here by BlameF. Sitting out towards middle, this duel means everything. They might just hunt for the kill instead. BlameF will escape. He doesn't want to give up his life. A 1v2 for Just.
Yeah, really smart move from Blame. He realizes that he doesn't have to risk it right there. If he gets into a fight that he loses, that's just going to give Just a chance. And there was a diffuse kit dropped somewhere by U-Jerks, but look at that from
nice.
Xyp9x. The diffuse kit was down CT, but Xyp9x with the elevated angle is going to get the kill. 4-0 for Astralis, even though that one goes really, really close there. That one kill from the 5-7 was enough to make Astralis just run their Sandos towards the A-bomb side, but they were not ready for U-Jerks towards CT.
Yeah, I was saying that he had, despite the scoreline of U-Jerks, I still think his performance on Ancient was commendable. That is, I mean, firepower is still there, certainly. Yeah. If there wasn't Xyp9x towards long, that round could be a catastrophe for Astralis.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
Xyp9x on these lurks have been impactful so far early in this game.
Yeah, that's something that we're going to see a lot of, as you pointed out, you know, that early presence towards long from Xyp. One thing that he loves doing is, you know, getting into the action early on. They send him out with a couple flashes, maybe a couple smokes, assist him to get into a good position, and then he just freezes, right? He's just getting into a good position, and then he doesn't really initiate contact. Or if he does, well, that means that they're going to be playing a bit of a faster round. It just really depends on the idea that Astralis have for set round, but yeah, he's really good at, you know, transitioning from making first contact to being that lurking player. He needs to be careful with making the first contact against the AWP here, though.
Ooh, little duel attempted there by BlameF. Mutiers doesn't want any of that, though. And we'll drop off instead. Early on, Astralis, they love pressuring this mid to be split. Another flash out, and Saw have to attend to this gap in the defense. Glaive wants to press the issue. He's going to toss in the smoke and the molly, threaten that split, and those alarm bells start going off for Saw.
Yeah, it's a really good protocol thing that Astralis are going to do a lot of, right? Show some middle presence, knowing that Saw are playing this one a little bit more passively. And right now, Saw don't really know if there's Astralis players outside of middle, and this is the trap card that Astralis are trying to play into them, right? I mean, they have no intentions of actually using middle. They just have
Look at
one player that's
this.
going to be cutting off rotations, and they've left middle. They're so afraid of it. They're going to be playing a retake setup on that B-bomb side. The fake is perfect. Astralis are just going to walk out.
I mean, I can't believe it. They just took the hardest site to take in the game without a shot being fired. Astralis mind games, but they try to push through. They do try to retake. They don't want to let that bomb get planted. They know what a B-site post-plant means, but it's a double kill from Xyp9x. And this will be the post-plant that CT side so dread. Do they attempt for it? Mutiris wants to take a look in here, but it's so dangerous. Just on the double stack is Xyp9x right now, just waiting for a flash, waiting for that contact to be taken. Shoulder spot, and there you go. Xyp9x opens up. That's a third kill for him, and that's a save for Saw. 5-zip for Astralis.
Yeah, that was great. I mean, the fact that Glaive doesn't really fire a shot as well, he's just waiting for Zip to make first contact, and then he swings from the back of the side. Those are just the little details that, you know, are not going to give Saw a chance in a round like that, but that was a really good move. I feel like Glaive is... Well, it might be a little bit risky to say that only 5 rounds into a game, but I feel like he's into their heads a little bit, and maybe now is the time to go for a little bit of a pause if you're Saw. Because this previous round, you've been completely outmaneuvered. I mean, you see the nades towards middle. They just leave the B-bomb side. They were so afraid of this being another short play or maybe a mid to B. They realized it would have been really tough if the rotation player was just cut off and they had to hold on to the B-bomb side all alone, the two of the players. So they decided to kind of tunnel vision themselves towards middle.
Saw changing up the setup a bit. However, 2 players towards bottom middle on the gun round. You see Christo take some flak in towards the upper tunnels. In lower tunnels, though, is Roman. Full mid control now for Saw, and Mutiris pushed up. This is the bomb. This is the bomb approaching Mutiris, and he gets the spot. That's it, dropped. And now Astralis are in a very, very panicked situation. How are they going to get that bomb? How can they get this control with a double setup with Mutiris covering fire? 2 versus 5, and Saw have this round gifted to them.
Yeah, that's a great move from Saw. Finally, they switch things up. They've realized this is one way to counter Astralis toying with your minds, right? Just get middle control. Just play into them. That was absolutely great. Xyp9x was never ready for that up-close angle towards top middle, and as soon as he falls down, that just provokes the reaction coming in from the tunnels player, and Saw, they had a perfect setup. 1 towards lower, 1 up short. Astralis just didn't have an idea on what hit him, and now it's just Christo, a 1 versus 5. Not a single kill on the board for him. Ujurx shuts him down. A triple for Mutiris, a double for Ujurx, and a first for Saw.
I mean, that's an excellent setup from Saw. Just full mid control and also the double setup in tunnels. 1 player on the catwalk and Roman down low. I mean, Mutiris locking it down. He's the real talk of the town there. Yeah, the first round on the board for Saw, it's convincing.
Yeah, it was really important that it was convincing as well, right? Because they're trying to build up a foundation as well. It's not just winning a couple of rounds and being okay with it. You want to make sure that you have some kind of, you know, a dominant streak going into that defensive side of things. You don't really want to let Astralis get away with a couple lost clutches, because that's just going to keep the money really low on the CT side. A 1-1 buy round by Astralis is just going to reset you. And now that's not really the case. You've started to actually look a little bit better. A second round here would cement Saw's chances here to actually have a decent score in that first half. Obviously, it's way too early to write them off, but quite important that early on you do manage to pick up a couple rounds on the stack.
So in more of the stock standard setup, no one in CT spawn. They're trying to play this A defense, anticipating that catwalk play.
Yeah, and that's a really good change of tempo as well. Well, change of pace, I guess you could call it, because in the previous round they were a lot more aggro towards middle, you know, showing Astralis that they can take the initiative, and now you've just made Astralis waste a lot more time trying to clear out all those possibilities, and you're just playing it really passively from the back of the side, saving a lot of your util as well.
Still plenty enough, though, here for Astralis to put in a good execute. 3 smokes in. Preparing themselves maybe for a drop. BlameF can go into CT spawn if he so pleases, or play the one-ways. This is so nice. This is such a great way to split the B bomb site. Now Roman getting wallbang down to 5 HP, but Mutiris does push the issue. He wants to take the fight to them. He doesn't want to let them split for free. And now Ujurx makes the same move. Xyp9x though deals with both of them. 2 versus 3, but Mr. finds the entry. They're not ready for Just though. And now with time running so darn low, Christo, it's just time to save. Saw. Find the round. The aggressive maneuvers through the smoke. They're taking the fight to Astralis.
Yeah, that was a great reaction. Blamev going down there, trying to drop into short. He was waiting for the contact to be made from the CT player, right, towards middle. And then he drops, gets that kill. This is a completely open round for Astralis. But that was a great reaction. The rifles doing all the job there for So as they start to bounce back here on the CT side. Looking a lot more comfortable, even though the AWP of Story is still on only 1 kill. Same for Roman. Mutiris and Ujurks have been stepping up in a lot of these rounds.
Cristo still has an AWP, and I'm wondering if they know that's in play or not. Scoping up, that surely was heard. Oh, but the flames obscure just. That's the op on the ground, and that is a massive advantage going the way of Saw.
Yeah, well, that was the only gun. I mean, It's just up to the pistols now, so it's about how many guns can you actually take away.
I don't think Ujurks wants to let any be taken away here. I'm going to be honest. That's another great headshot for him. And searching for that AWP. Where are you? Oh, man. He's able to cross safely. Don't worry. Ooh, is just going to press the issue. No, he's going to just make his way into
That's been heard, 100%.
Double stack. You think?
Yeah, just knows exactly what's going on. He's not going to peek into that.
It is the perfect angle to deal with an opper as well. Who is going to pre-aim the top of the double stack, all things said?
Just look at him. He's going to do it.
Now that I said it,
look it up.
Perhaps. He does, but he's not scoped in for it. That's an instant headshot. That's the round there for Saw. It's 3 on the trot.
Yeah, it's another swift round as well. I mean, Saw have started to look quite dominant. I mean, yeah, the previous round, they did win with only 2 players surviving, but that was a buy versus buy. The round before that, they did win with 5 surviving, and now they get another clean one on the board. One is actually looking fantastic right now for the CT side. Storia's on 9K. Mutiris on, yeah, he's the lowest one on 3 with Roman, but you still have just above 6. You have Ujurks that's above 4. Things are looking great right now for the Iberian side, and they go back to the aggression. Mutiris is going to be a lot more pacey towards lower this time around.
Oh, okay, because they're going to go crunch in towards the upper tunnels. Normally, you'd find Astralis here mulling around, but this time around, they've left it vacant. They've evacuated the tunnels, and they're coming back out towards long late. This is a new look here from Astralis, but they have Story in position. Scoped up, he spotted an elbow, but Ujurks is providing the cover. That could have been Story going down, but this is now a problem for Astralis. They're locked in combat. The setup is here. Another headshot for the young gun. Even brings out the Deagle to try and finish out the job. The confidence oozing from Saw right now, and he just keeps going off. Roman now follows up, and Astralis have been shut down at the long doors.
He's just reloading the Diego, just shooting with it. Mister is in a 1 versus 5. That's impossible to get away from.
I would... Inevitability.
He's still running with the pistol.
I can't believe it. Mutiris will close it down from the end of it, but, I mean, Saw just on a rager right there.
Yeah.
4 rounds straight.
Yeah, that was a lockdown. And I'd actually, I want to emphasize on the fact that, Astralis go for that long play, but it's not because I think they didn't really want to go for it that early and feel so desperate early on, but just Soul taking away that tunnels control and making it so vocally as well, right? Astralis knew exactly what was going on. They knew that Soul had the entire map covered up. So they kind of had to play into them. Hello, Glaive. Yeah, okay. Imagine he hits the jump spot, or rather the jump shot.
That was just on the cross. There is still a real possibility for this round. There's a lot of avenues that begin to open up.
I can think of a couple highlights from Glaive with a scout on DUST2. I'm just saying.
Yeah?
Yeah, I've seen a couple. He's had his story with the AWP, back when Lucky was on the lineup. We've actually had a couple games in which Glaive was the oper.
Yeah. Bit of a throwback, I suppose.
Yeah, and you know what they say? You want your IGL to frag? Just give him away a scout.
Yeah, and this could happen. They just walk up. It's only Mutiris who can fight this, and they make their way up. Now Mutiris could be in some serious trouble. 4 players coming his way, and now up close, but a great flash thrown for Story, but he's out of ammo. He has to reload, and the pistols could start to encroach as Blamev lands an insane Deagle headshot. And Glaive on the scout. We're talking this highlight reel, and we might see it in front of our eyes. A 2v3. Ujurks, though, great shot. Last 2 players on the site. Bomb yet to be planted. 30 seconds on the clock, and Jerks doesn't want to waste any of that time. He'll clean house with the 3K and Roman to finish. Saw avert the crisis.
Yeah, that was a great recovery. That felt really, really pisky there for a second. BlameF getting that 1D. Glay following up with the scout, but still Jerks was able to find a multi-kill. We spoke about him before the start of the day quite a lot. He's 13-4 right now. He's been doing a really good job on the rotation, right? This is kind of like, I guess you could argue that on a map like DUST2 where it's so easy to lock off the CTs, every single row is quite important, but being the rotation player, you're going to get into a lot of action. All right.
See ya.
Yeah, let me tell you a terrifying story.
Tell me that story.
Yeah, it kind of ruined the pun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Got you.
No,
I kind of get it. All right, let's see this terrifying story. Another one for him. And spots the arm through the smoke, almost finds the shot onto BlameF. Now the smoke deployed, he'll play defensively. Doesn't want to overextend the mark. He has his teammates to back him up. It's just Blame and Glaive. Try and make this round happen, and boy, will that be a tough order, but he finds the headshot. Glaive continues going. The molly on towards Cat could do it. Now BlameF in a situation you want him to be in. The clutch. 1v2 now. Molly at his feet, looking for the fights, but just swings behind his own molly. Yeah. And BlameF not expecting it. 6 rounds for Saw.
Just running him down. And this is, by the way, I feel like this is the right way to approach it in a scenario like that. If you're BlameF, you feel like they're not really gonna want to pick up the fights with you, but you know, they don't really give him the space, right? They pressure him, they make him feel uncomfortable in the clutch, and you said it, he is maybe the most dangerous person in the server in that clutch environment. So if you really take him, or rather let him take his time, well, he can make you suffer. Back to the
B-rush. Here we go.
Yeah, 2-2.
Yeah, out into the middle of the V site. Good shot there from BlameF, at least to shut down Roman. And actually finds the double kill. BlameF has made it across, but the bomb, a different story. Op shot fired, and Mr. can actually get the bomb planted. BlameF could make this happen.
Yeah.
Mr.'s also picked up an AK.
They recovered rifles. There's still 2 smokes.
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot of damage done onto Mr. That's going to make it a lot easier. And look at the flashes from Story. They're going to rain in any moment now.
Yeah, this is going to be tough. BlameF surely about to be blind. Or not. They walk in. Barrel spotted. Headshot angle. Another headshot for Blame. But it puts it down on the Mr. He needs to finish the job Blame started. The AWP for Story. It's the Deagle that's out. Bullets running low. Now he has to switch to the Tech 9. 40 HP versus 15. And it'll be Mr. to clutch up the 1v1. Astralis with a pressure situation.
Yeah, and a tactical timeout being called straight away from the coach. This is a really important round. What a clutch from BlameF and Mr. The first 2 shots, the flashes don't really catch him. Astralis go for the tag here, leveling things up once again. That's not a round that you'd expect him to win. And it's once again that B-bomb side, by the way. They've been so successful towards it.
Yeah, it's been their target. They've been able to manipulate Saw's defense early on in this game to get that B bomb site. They get themselves into another good position, and the 2v3 is a totally winnable position. But without the flashes, man, I thought there was going to be a barrage. BlameF was going to be blind, and everything was going to fall into place there for Saw. I'm just wondering why they hesitated on that decision, and you can see a little bit of discontent in the camp. They're 6-all at the moment, and Astralis give themselves an avenue back into this DUST2.
Yeah, Castle's gonna bring up the strat book here for Astralis. Obviously, he is the ex-Astralis talent coach. It was the same story with Trace as well, right? He was coaching the Astralis talent before he got promoted into the first team, so the Danes seem to be willing to give a lot of chances to the staff of the academy team. And, you know, Castle, some of you might know him from his time as an analyst and coach over at Singularity and Masonic.
Yep.
He's taught Christo how to do that.
Perhaps he did. And now Story is going to have to teach them a thing or two about opping, and that will be the first. BlameF, a couple other pot shots. The shots rain through the car, and it's so claustrophobic out there towards the car position, but sitting inside his own smoke, he might be able to preserve himself, and Astralis don't really want to battle it too much, or do they? More mollies. This just becomes inhospitable for Story. Do they want to keep peeking him, though? A great flash, but he fires on the flash. It's so perfect from Story. Another kill gifted over him. He's being hunted, though, right now by Zipnix, and He'll go down eventually. 3 versus 3, and Zipix just hits another blinder. Where has this been?
Whoa,
He's going to go ahead and smokes for the cross. They're going to make it in. Roman, though, still tries to make a play. The flash is great, but Zipix is better. Utility does nothing to this man, and it's just a 1v2 around the site is the first. And now Zipix to beat in the 1v1 to complete the clutch. You have to beat the Minister.
Yeah, 3 kills under his belt for this one. Looking for the 4th, but he's just gonna get it. 21 HP to spare as well. What a round that was from Zipix, but just shuts it down.
7 now for Saw. A massive round to win, but we're starting to get down to the nitty gritty. 1 player surviving for Saw. Astralis' money is running low. It starts to become a pivot point. See who takes this lead towards the end of the half. But Saw are ahead at the moment. But you gotta give respect to Zipnix. He tried to make that round happen. He is currently top of the board for Astralis.
Yeah, we're seeing some flashbacks here. Golden times for Zipix. He's been picking up the slack. Same for Blameth. Astralis, though, still on the T side, so you can get away with maybe not having such a dominant showing. You still need to make it respectful, though, and so once again, going aggressive towards tunnels. We've seen what happened a couple of rounds ago when they played the exact same round. This time, Zip is a little bit slower. Usury still wins that fight.
And Glaive is already so fast up cat without a peep. Already looking to catch them up, but Story's prepared. Story's so prepared. Out long, though, Mr. Heals with U-Jerks. Still a man advantage. Running. Whoa, boy. Crossing into the open. Somehow, Christo gets away with that.
That's crazy.
And actually, he gets the off inside of Pit. It's such a power position right here. And the Molly on Story, he has no smoke. Oh, this is such... Again, claustrophobia sets in, but he makes do with it. A headshot on a Christo. And he's sticking around even on 8 HP. They're long gone, of course, Astralis, in this 2v4. But man, putting on a show here are the Portuguese.
Yeah, Story with an insane double kill, and now they're getting pinched. There's going to be the double P coming in from lower and short. Blamef goes down, and that was just Mr. 1 versus 4. He's completely locked out of the round. What a shutdown from Soul. I mean, that's been a great recovery into that half, right? That CT side's been impeccable. Astralis did start on a 5-0 lead. Let me remind you that. That's going to be their 8 on the board unless we see a Mr. 1 versus 4 with 25 seconds left, and, well, that answers it.
Saw is looking crisp. They have won 8 of the last 9.
Yeah, look at the smiles as well. They know it. They've put on a really good show here on the CT side. But this is what you need, right? Especially after the update. Obviously, it's been a long time now. But I feel like DUST2 now favors the CT side a little bit. I mean, in terms of, giving you a lot of freedom, a lot of possibilities to go for many kinds of different plays and approaches. You got to feel like they need a bit of an advantage here on the defense if they want to fight for the end victory. And, well, when nothing works, go back to the basics. Another B play maybe intact for Astralis.
That has been their standard default. A smoke always suggests something that they could have pushed out towards the lower tunnels or in towards middle. Instead, Astralis looking to group up for this B play here.
Yeah, once again, it's been the most successful round for them, but this smoke is actually is going to make them reconsider. But look at Materis. He's going to move himself into a really aggressive position. Are they ready for that?
I mean, some would call this one and done. But that hasn't been the story of Materis this game.
Oh, he's heard the trouble.
So much noise, and that's going to allow Story to get on this line.
Yeah, they're going to set it up. A couple smokes, a couple flashes. AWP on the other side. He needs to deliver.
All right, over the top of the box, though. The one way isn't doing him any service. Glaive, though, will find that initial and even dropping into spawn. Despite being in the man disadvantage, they actually will be able to get the plant. But you see this, Mr. This is a dangerous position, but if it goes unchecked, it could be the power position. Roman, will he peek his head up? He will. Mr. reveals his position. Will he be traded? He starts to get wrapped from long, but just will do that service. It's just Glaive. He'll get cleaned up, and we're about to see a 9-6 half out of Saul. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's great. That's a phenomenal comeback. Astralis started this one on a 5-0 lead on the T side. We were thinking that this could be a clean sweep for them, but no. So replicating their performance from earlier on towards realized we were not muted. So yeah.
Anyhow, welcome back in. 9-6 is the score that we're looking at. As we're gonna take away Saw, leaping out towards long. We'll see if Astralis can turn things around on this. See if Cristo can prove me a bit wrong here.
Well, to be fair, he hasn't really had a lot of chances to bring out the 8.
Of course,
so.
T-side opping is very difficult on this map.
Yeah, well, it still does too, but I guess he's going to get a little bit more here on the defense. That's an interesting pistol from Saw. It's really, really slow. They just wait it out, but the setup towards Scar is going to be interesting, especially with the lack of a Molotov on the T side.
Alrighty. So Zipex on the angle does have Cristo next to him. It's a bait and switch. Zipex is really needing to find some impact here, but he's just going to take his moment to escape instead. That's been spotted, but has the bait work? Can Cristo strike? Glaive has. Are they even going to push the issue? BlameF has him locked in, and he's been super soldiered up. He has half armor and dual Berettas. Everything you could want. A great flash and a great shot. Come on, let's go. That's Cristo. All right, prove me wrong, my friend. Prove me wrong. 2v4, now Blame starts his play. Cristo, can you make it a third? He certainly can. Astralis pick up the pistol.
Yeah, he's just doubled his kills in a single round. That was a great showing from Cristo. He needed that. As you pointed out, it was kind of slower first half from him. Ending it on 3 and 12. It was a little bit lacky, but you know, the first 2 shots, they were really impressive. And the entire idea about the bait was great. He even had the flash as well to play along with. BlameF being really proactive elsewhere on the map, just locking them down from behind. Pistol round goes in favor of Astralis. That's Astralis winning both pistol rounds, actually. Which you would think that in a BO1 environment should have a massive impact on how the game ends. Still, though, that late comeback from Soul in the first half does put them in a really good position, regardless of that pistol. Oh, they're going to be ecoing here. Story is the only one on the scout.
See how that operates. At least. Surprised he actually went in for the purchase. Normally you just have the offer automatically saved for his AWP. But maybe trying to make some impact happen. Drop a gun. And as we know, once a gun gets dropped, it seems to just multiply and get out of hand.
Yeah.
Surprising that the scout was the weapon of choice here for Story, but see how he can make this one work.
Well, ideally, you want the pistols to just jump out, and that's going to open up some space for the scout to work with. He actually tries to find the opening and does land the tag.
That's about it. I think the follow-up should be here. Plenty enough with BlameF. Cristo does get domed by a P250, but BlameF has got this lockdown. Make it an ace. All 5, crispy clean. And that will make the 8th round for Astralis. They're starting to bounce back.
Yeah. CT side buff. You got to feel like they're going to have a bit of an easier time. We're yet to see Saul bring out the guns, though. Well, we're going to have the chance in this round. AKs across the board. Scout for Story. He's got the B spawn. Unfortunately, not quite the gun for the occasion. 9-8. As we go again. Story going to get challenged by Cristo on the other side. Actually, he is towards long, I believe, with the scout, and that's just Mr. spotting towards middle, just jumping around. Gonna line up a quick nice Zaiwu smoke for his team to cross safely towards short. This one starts to look like a bit of an A split here.
Or maybe not.
That's sneaky.
That's so sneaky. But BlameF doesn't buy any of it. He even gets away around the corner. Feel like he should have been a dead man. And no one's going to follow up. BlameF gets his kill, gets out. Will Zipex try to push the issue? It would be a death sentence for sure. But instead, he gets inside of the long house, and now he has the advantage.
Yeah, that's just a great maneuver there from Zip, getting into an up-close angle. He's got this one locked out, and that's going to allow actually Glaive to get back, or rather BlameF to get back closer towards CT. So they've slowed things down. Astralis, they've left middle completely. Now BlameF is going to have some vision on that, but Mr. Any moment now, he's going to get challenged. Every single Soul player is here, bar Mutiris. He's going to be the one lurking towards middle.
Oh, and Glaive, that's a great kill. Now that gives him time to back up towards the site and actually help out Cristo. And that will be a double kill, almost the finisher. Rather, it's Mr. here on the site with that MP9. A great round out of Glaive, the IGL, and we have ourselves a 9-all game. Astralis are okay. They're starting to see some dangerous moves out of these guys.
Yeah, get Glaved. That was a great round from the IGL of Astralis. Just moving around. He might have won that round on his own, right? Just moving around, getting the kill onto middle, making it just a one-dimensional take. And as soon as he sees Mutiris smoking over, he has his teammates in a triple setup towards the A-bomb side. He can just rotate back and support his teammate. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Alrighty. We have a Scout headshot and a Deagle headshot. And some here for Saw. Can Glaive roll it back? He almost finds the kill on a Roman through the wall, but perhaps not enough.
Yeah, boys, there's a massive hole in the bolt right now, and it's starting to fill up with water. Gotta get the buckets. Get to work.
Tears gets a rifle. I do not want this guy with the rifle right now. He's gonna try and use it too. He picks his timing perfectly. Oh man, he's sowing so much chaos in the Astralis ranks. So much so, Asar about to walk out B, and Mutir's selling this one-man fake. Whole real estate sold. Just sign the deal here, Astralis.
Yeah, the boat's sinking. Gotta hold your breath. Gotta clear out Roman. Otherwise, this one is gonna be done for Roman. It's all up to Mr. Oh, he's got no clue. That's round over. Surely. It's just a save for Glaive. You just drowned.
Tech 9s. I've done it.
Yeah. Gotta love it. I mean, this is the round that you would put your money on the Astralis to win, right? And this is the round that Soul wins. And those are the rounds that can just turn around the entire game and the tempo of how everything's going, right? Astralis get a really good start once again. They pick up the pistol. They get the conversions for the second half. Yeah, they did that on the T side, but the difference was on the T side, they were actually able to pick up the first buy round and then the second one, which was a bit of a half buy again for Soul. Here, though, Soul not only get a round early on, but it's even with the pistols. It wasn't even a full buy, right? It's just a couple Tech 9s, and they make Astralis work for it. A couple really good shots from the Scout to start things off, a Diego to follow up. It was just crazy scenes there.
Double digits rolling here for Saw, as they do take the lead. We do get to see the AWP, the double ops out of Astralis on this one.
Massive investment.
A real first look here at the Astralis defense, and we are going to see a push up middle. These shots going out towards long, but we see Blame F in a very risky position with Christo holding his lower tunnels.
I'm not sure if Story actually seen him. He went for the jump spot. They seem to have an idea. Christo in a really good position. Needs to get at least one. A massive HE towards top middle. Is going to do so much damage. And now they're going to fall back.
They're going to break apart the setup. They've already done their job here by baiting out that utility for now. Will Saw have to work with a couple of smokes, a cobbling of flashes? It's not really enough to fight for map control, and Astralis have... Oh, this is looking good.
Yeah, that's looking great for Astralis. They have the setup towards long. Xipix is just going to bait them in. Blame have just been playing the rotation so far on the CT side. There's no reason to expect him to be there.
Yeah, Xipix, this is just an incredible position as well. They start to move out, and the bait has been set. Now Blame F begins to activate. Double kill for him with Xipix together. It's such a wonderful setup, and a great read from Astralis. 2 more players on the plate here for Xipix. He will get finished off, but with 30 seconds left on the clock, there are no room for errors.
Yeah, that setup was absolutely impeccable there. Justin Story now left in a 2 versus 3. The flash is in. Glaive doesn't really need to pick up that fight. He can just hold the line. Look at the time. It's already running low.
Just has a single smoke. He could use that to cross, but it looks like he wants to fight. And Glaive won't be missing that shot. 10 seconds. Time to save the op. And Astralis are going to go neck and neck again.
Yeah, it was just the double AWP holding the line. That was a great call from Astralis, right? They were absolutely ready for that play. It's just a brilliant move from Blame F to get himself into the angle. And actually, Zip misses the first shot, so Blame F getting the first kill enables him to get a kill as well. That was just a great round from Astralis. Really important that they were able to bounce back after how the previous round went, right? You can see a lot of teams actually getting out of their tempo and being really devastated after losing a round against the Pistols, but Astralis, they managed to keep their calm here and actually bait out a timeout coming in from the Soul guys. Now, obviously, They have Arky, a really capable coach, a really capable player as well. And it's always nice when, you know, your coach has had some previous and quite recent experience playing inside of the server. Kind of gives you another perspective to what's going on. And he's known some of those players for a long time. You got to feel like they have a really nice relationship going on. A lot of cohesion. Still though, Astralis looking solid on the buy rounds. Well, against the buy rounds.
All right, out towards long saw. Fast play, flame F. Dinked, but no, it's a double kill. Christo, though, does have the fallback. We're going to need a big play out of him to keep this round stable for Astralis. He will have Mr. next to him, and he will be set up, boosted up on towards the site. He does have Story to contend with inside of Pit. If he wants to look for a fight, he's going to have to compete with one of Portugal's best oppers in these past couple of years.
Yeah, there's so much
Swing in the site. Christo just up and above, just above the angle right now. Don't think he's going to face this one though, Ted.
No, there's so much utility on the T side as well. They can just isolate it. They can smoke off towards CT. They have a flash. They have a couple of Molotovs. They can force the Oper out of the angle and Story. He can just hold the line here.
Yeah, and limiting what Christo can do. And, oh, missed the shot, though.
Oh.
That gives Christo an angle. That's a great shot. On towards the site. In a pressure situation, Christo is going to deliver. But just his walk up towards Cat. It could be impactful, but hey, Christo's offing, man. It's starting to ring true, and Story is going to back away. Christo has found a three-piece, and Astralis have taken the lead.
Yeah, you like his opening now, don't you? Yeah.
I speak too soon.
Yeah, it was a great round from Christo. I mean, once again, you can make the point about, you know, Story missing that shot, because if he lands it, this is a really good round for Sol. And the bait out still works out, right? I mean, they get up close. He's just posted on the angle, hoping that Christo's going to walk into him. This is exactly what happens, but the smoke makes it, well, really confusing there. It was a little bit discombobulating. Him missing that shot, it enables Christo to shut down the first player. And obviously that unlocked the possibility of the rifles coming into play. Christo with a triple kill in the round in the end of it. He's actually picked up, what, 2 triple kills now throughout this half? Even though he's on only 9 kills. He single-handedly won them 2 rounds.
Yeah, that is certainly impact for sure for Christo.
Yeah, it's just pure impact. No kills around.
It's proving himself, honestly. I think for people who have watched the scene for a while, some weren't really impressed with his performance on North, myself included, evidently.
Well, North was, at this point, I feel like the entire team was just a sinking ship when he joined, so it was kind of tough to, you know, make a name for yourself in a team that a lot of people were struggling in.
For sure. On a similar note, though, he can't have his moments, and hey, delivering here against a tough Saw opponent is certainly reasonable. And he's going to make his way out towards Goose and post on up. He has something to say for the Counter-Strike community for sure.
Yeah. Astralis once again just letting middle completely open, and they're going to focus on the bomb sides. Glaive gets aggressive towards Thanos. Doesn't really want to overstep the mark, though. But look at Zip. He's found a godlike timing. He knows exactly what's going on. They have the information, but Zip, he needs to be really quick with this one. The B-split is on play.
Oh, Mr. though is doing some great work from the car position. And then Glaive's opping is great as well. Mr. and Glaive, a terrifying duo on this B site, and that's a lockdown. That is 12 for Astralis, and they start to take control of the game.
Yeah, gives you some mages can do pre-flashbacks, doesn't it? Great stuff towards the B-bomb site. It's a clean round as well from Astralis. They don't lose a single member, and that one looked quite dangerous. I mean, yeah, okay, you had all the information in the world, but in the end of the day, even though you did know what the play was, it was all down to Mr. and Glaive to hold on, and hell, they did. Another round with the pistols, and maybe the first B-Sen coming in here from the Iberian side.
Oh, jumping through the smoke. Oh, Flame! Oh my goodness, it's a mowdown. Absolutely. Blame F is just bound to triple. Make it 4 from the back of the site. Astralis utterly prepared for that kind of play. And now they're starting to laugh. They're starting to giggle. They're starting to feel this game in their palm of their hands right now, 13-10.
Yeah, when you see Blame F smiling, you know that things are going right for Astralis. And now they've started to look a lot better, right? I mean, Blame is up to 24-13, just like that. Crystal's finding some impact. Zip, Mr. Glaive, all of them having their good moments. Another buy round coming in for So, but you gotta feel like if they lose this one, they're pretty much out of the game, right?
Oh, okay. Glaive on the AWP is providing some serious problems right now for Saw. Gutierrez down to 23 early on. We're going to try for some wall banks here, Glaive. Would you like the style on them?
Well, he's the classic guy. You know, he likes being efficient. Yeah. Unless he's got the scout. Then he's
That's the Astralis way. Never waste a single nade, a single bullet.
Yeah, old school stuff. A really important round for So, though. Utility still of plenty. They came out of a pretty successful and, well, solid take here. One of the two bomb sites looks like it's going to be another short take. Bomb slowly starting to make its way back towards long. And once again, Zip is going to get tested. Multi-kill potential needs to provide. There's one.
Wow.
He actually has a smoke. That's going to delay them for so much longer. They need to either wait this one out and they're going to be running the clock thin or just run through it.
And the way Zip's been looking, I wouldn't want to run through it, but they're going to be forced to. They actually do in Zipmix.
Crystal has no clue.
Oh, no. Crystal's just out in the open. They didn't realize that was even a possibility. They still make 2 kills out of it, though. Blame F was able to hold down the cat side, and now all he needs to do is focus on long, and it's... Oh, he runs out of ammo. Oh, no. This is getting very odd. Has to go to the P250 as they cross out towards the site, but Mr. is trying to provide support, and he will help out just fine. Astralis to 14. It gets a bit weird with Christo out in the open, but saved by Blame, saved by Mr. Doing great work.
Yeah, they assumed that long was clear after Zip is getting the first kill and not spotting a second player there. You know, he actually gets a kill on the nade, falling back. Even though both him and Crystal fall down, he actually tossed the nade towards short, and I think that finished off one of the 2 players. That was just a great hold once again from Astralis, even though it went a little bit south there for a second. They do manage to convert.
Saw's in desperation mode. They're trying to Tech 9 rush up towards Catwalk, and Blame F gets all that information. Let's see it, Christo. Jiggle peek on the line. Great shot. Fast on it as well. And is able to actually reposition himself. Gutierrez tries to cross out towards middle, not getting away with that. Christo not quite hitting that shot. They're going to continue to progress forward. It puts it on to Zipex, and he goes down. Christo, though, does hit the shot, the difficult one, onto you jerks. It just leaves one Roman in a 1v3.
Yeah, that would be a massive clutch to pull off in a moment like that. And they've actually given him a lot of space and respect in the clutch. This is the right approach. They have one player holding his bag, though, and that's going to be Glaive from the AWP. He should have this one in the bag, and indeed he will. 15 for Astralis, 5 consecutive map points here for the Danes in their first game here at the Elisa Masters Espoo 2022.
You know, some impactful opping from Christo down the stretch. I'll have to give him that for sure. Of course, we'll have to see how it performs later today, but so far the CT side opping performance has not been bad from the man who is filling Device's shoes.
Yeah, he was 3-12 in the end of the first half, I believe. So that makes him what? That makes him 8-3.
Hey, alrighty.
9-3 the second half. That was great.
Four v 4 though, as Jerkins does snag Zipex out towards long. But double off still very much in play, and Mr. here on the site. They will begin to push on through, but on the edge of the smoke, not respecting it, is just finding the kill. Blame F is in rotation though at the window side, swings out, gets the kill, gets away, and even he wants to go back in, but Roman will shut him down on that AWP. But Christo drops down U-Jerks in middle, cutting that
that's
rotate off, but this is so massive from Mutiris out and finding that kill onto Glaive. It's Christo, a 1v2 to close. If anything, to prove the doubters wrong, it'd be this, but Roman holding it with an AWP. Saw stay alive on DUST2 for a bit longer.
Yeah, flashes himself a little bit there. Mr. caught off guard by the play I think it was Mutirus, the person that just walked inside of the Molotov. That was a great play towards the B-bomb side. He just heard the spam. He knew that he's caught a bit of a timing. So I'll stay alive here for just a little bit longer. And actually, the foundation of Astralis in terms of the finances isn't that great. So maybe if So are able to pick up a couple more rounds, they could be resetting that Danish economy and potentially having something to say about that map. It's still a long road, though. You got to win 4 rounds in a row. And it hasn't been easy so far for you on the T side.
All right, Christo. Solo opping long. Can he do it here? Has to back away. I like him taking the forward face. But no connection on the shot. Saw still fighting to stay in this one.
Yeah, Christo just firing a couple warning shots from the back of the side. Doesn't really want to get into a fight. You can see that the idea behind this is Astralis giving enough time to their teammates towards the tunnels to aggress and clear it out. But Just is going to hear all of that. In fact, he doesn't. He pulls out a nade. Glaves is going to take him down off guard. Xyp9x finds another kill towards middle. And now they need to go.
It's wonderful. It's a great strategy. And on the cross, Christo, so fast on the shot. Walking inside the smoke, trying to make a play. It's Roman, but it's looking like Astralis are going to pick up their first BO1 of the day. Saw falling down potentially to that 0 and 2 bracket. They have a gauntlet to run for the rest of the group stage here. There's Roman on the cross, hunting for a 1v4. Now spotted out, now down to 20. And now even getting flanked out. They know exactly where he is, but he's getting flanked by Mr. who will close out the map. Astralis on the debut will clean up 16-11.
Yeah, 2 academy teams in the roster doesn't really make a difference. BlameF still manages to